creepy, crawly, and with more legs than would seem necessary. What are we talking about today? Spiders! Just in time for Halloween, we are going to learn a little bit about these notoriously spooky and multi-legged creatures, and do some spider work of our own as we make some spiderweb slime. Did you know that spiders aren't insects? Like some insects, spiders are arthropods, but unlike those insects, they have the classification arachnid. Another type of arachnid is a scorpion. Thankfully, in the case of spiders though, most of the 40,000 different types of them are harmless to humans. In fact, they're actually quite helpful to us and the local ecosystem because they're beneficial predators. This means they hunt down all sorts of pests in our gardens, but don't eat our plants. They also help keep our homes pest-free too. In the case of most spiders, it takes about 30 to 60 minutes to spin a web. Let's see if we can make our web just as quickly. For today's experiment, the materials you'll need are white glue, baking soda, measuring utensils, contact lens solution with boric acid, a large Ziploc bag, a pro hack that helps minimize all the mess, and some instant snow. One very specific ingredient we grabbed is a biodegradable version of instant snow. Biodegradable is a term that means something breaks down or decomposes naturally and fades back into the environment. It's important to use biodegradable or other types of materials that interact well with nature in order to protect and conserve our environment. First, we're going to measure our glue and put it into our Ziploc bag. We need 8 ounces. It's interesting that we need 8 ounces of glue since we're talking about arachnids, and all arachnids have 8 legs. It's also typical that they have 8 eyes too. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of baking soda to our bag and mix. Move that spider out of the way. All right, we've got our tablespoon. Try to sprinkle it through. And we're gonna seal the bag up real quick and give that a good mix. Now that we've got our baking soda in, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of our contact lens solution. So now we're going to mix until that's fully combined. While our web is being made inside of a Ziploc bag, a spider's web is actually a liquid inside of its abdomen. When the spider releases it, it becomes a solid and forms a thread, which the spider then spins into a web, which we find in nature or sometimes even around our own home. At this point, if your slime is still a little too sticky, you can add another 1/4 tablespoon of contact lens solution. Then you can knead your slime some more in order to make sure it's all mixed together. Actually, the more I learn about spiders, the more fascinating I find them. For example, the female wolf spider carries her babies on her back until they're fully developed, and this can take weeks, and that is some real parental dedication. Now this looks like it's ready for our next step. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of our instant snow and then mix until it's evenly distributed. The reason we're using biodegradable instant snow is so that we can be kind to the environment. Another way to be kind to the environment is to reduce the waste that we produce. And our friendly neighborhood spiders are doing just that. Before building a new web, orb weaver spiders and some other web building spiders will eat their old webs to recover those proteins. Our slime is still dry, so I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of water in order to help the snow expand. Knead that up immediately while the snow does its thing. Okay, let see how our slime is doing. Okay, so now we're looking at this stretchy mess of web. The instant snow really changes the texture from that ooey gooey messy slime into something that has a little more stretch and string to it. Oh, that looks so cool. Sometimes this recipe for slime is used for snow slime, but we're stretching it out in order to mimic a spider's web. Just carefully stretching it out. And now, to make our spider web a little more authentic, we're gonna have to add some spiders. Now I wonder if these have 8 eyes too. Boop. Well, I want to put a couple more in. A couple of these little baby spiders nestled in. And now we'll hang it off of our tree. Well, I'm not sure if our slime is quite as strong as a spider's web, seeing as how a spider's silk thread is 5 times stronger than a piece of steel of the same size. But ours sure is funky and cool. Adds a little spook to the lab. For more fun in the lab, follow us on YouTube and social media. Plus, if you have any experiments you'd like to see, email us at info@explorationstation.net. The next time you encounter a creepy crawly spider, maybe just give it a name, say thank you for all you do, and marvel at the beauty of its web. Now you be safe out there and stay curious, explorers.
Clayton's Exploration Station.